I'm still here. Waiting. And it's raining!
What's up, bro? Zio still giving you the slip?
You know it.
Well, why don't you bring the smoke to him?
How?
Beat these bongos like you're about to beat those cheeks. You know where to strike.
The King of L's special finally got... Is that at the door?
Ooh. Tough break, bro. You better get back to commentating before John Toei sees you catching L's. Anyway, I've got a date with Hans Hasbro. Bye.
Smells like something up in here. Okay. Well, this week we certainly get an asshole that answers the walking contradiction that is Ace. But on top of that, we get a brand new form. Speaking of forms... Yeah, he's not back from Denny's yet. So, let's get started with this week's Geats. The Lightning Jamato Festival is still in full swing, with head drummer hitting that electric boogaloo through Kawa and Neon. Ace was about to get done in by Ozma, but he got that slide mechanic on lock. But that's the end of this round. 2 turns and 2 weeds have grown. 3 more, and the town's pretty much done. So I guess Niram's jumping in, right? Not if Ace has anything to do with it, but he's low spec compared to Gazer. And due to Kawa and Neon getting enough damage from the lightning strike 30 seconds into the episode, they are now benched for the rest. Ace sure is feeling some sort of way of these future folks just doubting this man's abilities. The Jamato are celebrating the odds being in their favor, while Torumato gives Ozma some disgusting carbs to energize him. Daichi sure is enjoying seeing this man befriend a houseplant, but you do you, my guy. Ain't no one's gonna question that friendship. Finally motivated, in a tight bind, Ace is finally here. Seems a little quick, but sure. Not taking Gene's efforts to continue his play sessions in his world, he goes ahead and prays at the shrine from the festival last week and meeting up with the priest while there. There's a bit of a seed plant here too later on in this episode, which once again becomes a recurring thing. They seed plant something and pay it off almost immediately. It's implanted that Ace has had some interactions with this temple previously, maybe generations before now. But in comes Kid with mommy issues, triggering Ace's own mommy issues. Though, since the festival is now in the can, Ace thinks that things should indeed just proceed, citing some ancient history while at it. The weeds are ready to strike, with Ozma and the branch ready to roll out. Daichi's still out, but he's offered some herb, but he'll smoke when it's his time to inhale. He's just watching fumes today. The festival proceeds with cast we haven't seen in a while. What's up, Sarah and John? How's the circumstances of the world events affecting your life? Oh, it isn't? Great, because cue up them drums. The Jamato are back once again. Live from Denny's, it's the Grand Slam commentary. Since Zio won't come to Denny's, I'm bringing the Denny's experience over to you. Where'd you go this time? Damn it. Okay, well. Torumato and Buffa face off against Geats, with the Taiko no Tatsujin hitting that Oni level of difficulty with Divine Assist. They speedrunning this one with their roots sprouting quicker than Zio's credit card debt. Oh yeah, ineffective, he's not even here. Buffa gets that fire, but can Ace escape? Absolutely whacked, smacked, and extra crispy this week. What? Oh yeah, there you are. Alright, let's get... What? Did you forget I had an upgrade for him? Get back at me later. I'm taking this sultry beat for myself. Burning form style. Ace is down but not out. Just like the kid at the festival who's about to take the plunge. And so is Ace. about to reach so far up his own ass that his past lives seep on out, giving us one hell of an ass pull. The goddess of creation uses her wish-granting abilities to send Ace 4 extra boost buckles. All while Niram gets a bad taste in his mouth and Gene pitches a tent, with the buckles uniting and giving Ace a brand new toy. Let's take a moment to appreciate this brand new form of Geats Mark II, as it has arrived to smack some sense into Azuma, gut check Torumato, and free fall into a curb stomp, revolving on into a Kitsune, being the pest that those things can be and chewing through all the shrubs in the yard, taking his final act of aggression straight to Torumato, summoning his inner Hoopa, getting those fists ready, and bust through Azuma's homie. Azuma care though? Nah, he let his doubt from earlier take hold. So, what's up with this power-up? Turns out 4 of Ace's previous incarnations had wishes on hold for this very moment. Niram definitely is not liking how much Ace has influenced this world as a whole. Oh yeah. Is this Space Fies? No, definitely not Space Fies. With this episode of Geats, we get the debut of Boost Mark II. So, with that, let's talk forms. Red, black, and gold. This suit is looking good, with the full top and bottom setup. He looks like the type Trideron of this season, embodying the Boost Striker in Rider form and revolving on into its Kitsune form. Due to its color coordination, this form could exist for others, but I really want it to remain a Geats exclusive, as the others should get their own power-ups. Since I am a big fan of a rider and their machine fusing, as it's a concept that I've had ever since I was a kid working on my own OC rider, this suit is one of the best, if not the best suit in the show thus far. It's great. Rating time. Geats has a bit of a pacing issue, and I call that out so much that I've gotten tired of saying it for now. If I cast aside the pacing criticisms that I've had in terms of the build-up towards this form, it would be the highest rated episode thus far. But these two-parters leading things kind of diminish things in a way. So, as opposed to giving this my original rating the first time I watched it, in subsequent viewing, it's instead just getting a solid Ace A. Were y'all expecting a Boost Mark II-B? Nah, I'm not making that visual. Yet. So, the big nitty-gritty revelation this week is that Ace is Ace. But he's also been Ace multiple times before. 4, according to the wishes shown. But there's the possibility of many more. Ace remembering the memories of his original mother is just the memory of one of his previous lives. Maybe the first, maybe not. And you can kind of sort of assume the eras each of these Aces come from based on their names. But the fact is that he had the knowledge and insight into things that he was 100% going to reincarnate in the future. It adds a bit of a mystical vibe to Ace, which this episode definitely played some of those tunes too. But was this first wish done by his first incarnation, or another who already knew he had reincarnated from before and thus laid the groundwork for his later selves? The issue that I have with this revelation is a bit of a two-pronged approach. One is that if these previous selves did Ace similar to Ace, then they probably had multiple wishes and victories within a single lifetime. This might include a wish to reincarnate and guarantee entry into the DGP, but there could also be outside influences that keep landing Ace into the games. The second thing is that early into the show, we know that Ace tried wishing for his mother, only for it to get voided. Was this Ace, or one of the past personas, and he's just aware that that wish can't be granted? There's also the aspect of, was he always aware of his past lives, or did they just come to him? Since he's walking around with an ancient Roman coin, he's clearly made contact with aspects of his previous lives that he's just left for himself. This does, however, explain how Ace wasn't around during the previous lost DGPs, but was around for others, as well as how he has a mother in this current timeline, but still regards Mitsume as his mother. Does this change my supercomputer theory? Not yet, as the state of reincarnation is the same as rebooting, and if Ace himself is bound to endless reincarnations until his goal is met, then even a world wipe and starting over in a new locale most surely binds him to get pulled into the games yet again. The goddess of creation answering Ace's will, however, did come off very similar to a parental reaction, so I'm still in the camp that statue might still be Mitsume herself. But also, given the trajectory from which the boost buckles all came from, it's possible that the DGP or the Goddess Chamber is right outside the planet. Sadly, it was a cloudy day on set, so we can't tell if it was the moon or the sun, especially given Ace's previous conversations with the priest kind of implies the sun. But all of the symbolism this week does lead to a greater mysticism, as I mentioned earlier. I do find it a bit awkward that Niram knew that there were 4 exactly the same wishes that were pending, and he never put 2 and 2 together until now. It's kind of weird. So, what did you think about this week's Geats? Boost Mark 2's debut, previous aces, and is Gene gonna be extra excited of aces throughout the timeline? Anyway, that's it for me. Cruise on through for the Boost Mark 2, and I will see you all next time. Bye.